as data members with inches and feet as data members. Create a constructor to change the values. Create a constructor to change the values and create a destructor to display the values. And create a destructor to display the values. Okay, you need to create a distance class with two data members, feet and inches. Feet and inches. Create a constructor to assign the values and create the destructor to display the values. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, write the program and post it in the chat. Okay, meanwhile, I will start the class. Okay, by the end of the class, all of you need to post the program in the chat. Teams chat lone post cheyandamma. Don't post in the WhatsApp. Only post in this meeting only. So, e meeting chat lo post cheyandi. Okay. Okay. Okay, let I am starting the class. Okay, is all of you able to see the PPT?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am.
Yes. We'll continue with our previous class topic, data encapsulation. So data encapsulation is hiding the data. That is, you can hide the data from the outside of the class. Okay, that is whatever the members which are not related to the class, those cannot access the data members of the class. Okay, so there are the three encapsulation methods are there. Three encapsulation keywords are there. Okay, those are the public, protected and private. Okay, so whenever you are specifying any member of the class as a public, okay, the member can be accessible within the class and outside the class. Okay, there is no limitation for the public member. Okay, the public member doesn't has any limitation. So within the Python, to specify the public member, okay, will give the member name without any underscore symbols. So if you write any member without any underscore symbols preceded by the name, then that is called as a public member. Okay. So the member can be accessible throughout the class and outside the classes also. Okay. So this accessing is nothing but like this. Say for example, I have a class A. The name of the class is A colon. Here I created a variable as, say for example, A equals to 10. Okay. Say there is a class A. and small variable a is a variable within the class and with the value 10. Okay, the variable is assigned with the value 10. Okay, and now if I'm able to access if I'm able to use this variable outside the class, okay, that is my class is uh, from this point it started and this is the ending of the class. Okay, outside this is nothing but outside the scope of the class. If you are able to access it, okay, say for example a1 equals to a, so I'm creating an object for the a class. Okay, and now I'm able to use the a1 dot a variable equals to 20. That is, if you are not getting any error here, if you are not getting any error here, then we can say that this small a variable can be accessible outside the class. Okay, if you are getting any error in here in this statement, then we can say that this variable is not accessible outside the class. Okay. So here this variable a variable is not preceded by the any of the underscore symbols, so that we can say that this variable is a public variable. Okay, this variable is a public variable. So you can access anywhere within the class and outside the class the variable. Okay. Say for example, if the variable is to be created as a protected variable, then we need to mention the underscore symbol to the before the variable name. Okay, that is, say for example, the same class I'm using, class A colon underscore symbol, one underscore symbol a equals to 10. Okay, now this variable is a protected variable and this variable is only accessible within the inheritance hierarchy. Okay, inheritance hierarchy is nothing but if there is another class is there, like new class B, which is derived from the A class. Okay, then the protected members of the A class, the protected members of A class are only used within the B class. Protected members of the A class has access only to the child class. Okay, that is, you can use this variable within the B class. Okay, so a public variable is also can be accessible. Say if you want to restrict any particular variable to be accessible only within the child classes and in the class. Okay, in the current class and also in the child class, only these two can access a variable. Okay, then you can mention that variable as a protected variable. Okay, with a one underscore symbol, the variable becomes a protected variable. This variable is accessible within the class and also in the child classes, but not in the any other places. Okay, but not outside the class and not in the other classes which are not related to the this particular class. Okay, okay, this is the protected variable. This is the protected variable. Okay, the third one is the private. Okay, private variable is the variable which is accessible only within the current class. Okay, this cannot be accessible outside the class, even in the child classes or even in the other classes or outside the classes. Nowhere else you cannot access the private member. Okay, the private variable is declared with the two underscore symbols. Okay, say for example, I have a class A and I have a variable with the two underscore symbols. Okay, here the two underscore symbols are there and a variable. Here I am giving a value 10. Okay, so outside the class, if I am creating an object and I am trying to access it, then I will get the error. A1 dot A equals to say 20. Okay, this statement gives the error because you don't have access to the private variable to outside the class. Okay, here we can access it. Okay, within the class, say for example, I have a function def ch, say some self parameter is already there, self. Okay, Here I am accessing a variable like self dot two underscore symbols a equals to 20. Okay, here you have the access. Okay, this is valid statement. Okay, these private variables can only accessible within the current class, are not accessed outside the class. Okay, so these three you need to remember for the encapsulation. Okay, whenever you are asked to write about the encapsulation, you need to write about these three access specifiers. Okay, public, protected, and private. And you need to give the examples for the how the public variable is accessible and how the protected variable is accessible and how the private variable is accessible. Okay, so you need to explain them and you need to give the examples for the three access methods, three access keywords. Okay, how we can represent a public and private and protected variables. Okay, so these public, private, protected can be given to the methods and also can be given to the variables. Okay, so we can declare a method as a public or as a protected or as a private. As the same way, the variables can be used as a public or protected or private. Okay, so for anyone, whenever you are giving a single underscore, it is a protected, double underscores, it is a private, and without any underscore symbols, it is a public. Okay, remember these three. The notations. First, you need to remember the notations. Okay, then the accessibility of that member in the that particular program. Okay, how it can be accessible అనేది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి. Okay, next. Okay, this is the example for this. Okay. Within the classes, we have one more feature. You can create a variable outside the function, or you can create a variable within the function also. Okay, within the constructor or in any other function also we can create the variable. That is, this creation in the Python is nothing but whenever you first use the variable, then that is the creation of the variable అవుతుంది. మీరు ఫస్ట్ టైం దాన్ని ఎక్కడ యూజ్ చేస్తే వేరియబుల్ని, దట్ ఈస్ ద క్రియేషన్ ఆఫ్ దట్ వేరియబుల్ అవుతుంది. ఓకే, సో దిస్ ఇస్ ద ఎగ్జాంపుల్ ఆఫ్ the same. This object is not compulsory. Okay, you can give the class name colon, and this is the constructor, two underscore symbols init and two underscore symbols. This is the constructor name, and it has a 4 parameters. One is the self, a, b, and c. Okay, a variable is assigned to a public variable. How can you say that this is a public variable?
No underscore.
No underscore symbol.
Name.
B is assigned to the protected variable. Okay, because it has one underscore symbol. And C is assigned to a private variable which has the two underscore symbols. Okay, so here in these three statements, it creates a variable and also assigns the related accessibility. Okay, it creates a P variable as a public variable, and it creates a PR variable as a protected variable, and it creates a PRT variable as a private variable. Okay, now, so this is the end of the class. Okay, so outside the class we are creating an object. X is the object for the exam class, and here we are passing a three values 11, 13, and 17. 11 is for the A, and 13 is for the B, and 17 is for the C variable. Now we are trying to access the variable x dot p. Okay, p is a public variable, so x dot p is nothing but it gives the 11 variable, 11 value. Okay, because a is assigned with the 11 and a value is assigned to the p variable, so it gives a p variable value 11. Okay. Once again, I will show you this example through IDLE. Okay, I'll write one small program and we'll see that. I will create the class. Create. Okay. Dot underscore symbols. Number is a private member. Access them. Okay. Save the file and run. Okay. So you are getting an output for public variable and also for the protected variable, and we are getting an error to the private variable. Okay, object has no attribute underscore underscore number. Okay, so because the variable is private variable, so we are not able to access that variable. Okay, student object has no attribute. Okay, because this variable is not attached to the object, is not attached to the object to access by outside of the class. Okay, so that we'll get the error like this: student object has no attribute under to two underscores number variable. Okay, here you can observe the protected variable. Okay, protected variable is acting as a similar to the public variable. Okay, but not directly to the other classes. Okay, so outside the class you can access, but not in the other classes which are not related to the student class. The student class ki direct relation లేని classes లో మనం protected member ని direct గా access చేయలేం. Okay, say for example I have a one more class able to access the address. The employee class is not related to the student class, so within that we cannot access the protected member. Private is also not accessible and protected is also not accessible. Only we can access the name. Okay. So protected is within the non-related classes and non-related places we are not able to access the protected member.
Hello, ma'am.
Yes.
Hello,
ఎవరు
ma'am. No అనే వేరియబుల్ ని యాక్సెస్ చేయలేమా మ్యామ్?
నో కాదు, అది నంబర్.
అదే
చెప్పు.
దాన్ని యాక్సెస్ చేయలేమా మ్యామ్ మనం?
చేయలేము. అంటే ప్రైవేట్ అనేది ఏంటంటే అది సెక్యూర్డ్ అని. దట్ ఈస్ ఐ వాంట్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ ద సమ్ సెక్యూరిటీ టు మై డేటా. ఓకే, దట్ ఈస్ యూజింగ్ ద ప్రైవేట్ వీ కెన్ ప్రొవైడ్ ద సెక్యూరిటీ. ఇప్పుడు జనరల్గా మనకి
ఇది
ప్రైవేట్
ఎప్పుడైనా అది ఇంకా
స్పేస్ అంటే ఓన్లీ విత్
ఇది
ఇన్ ద
ఎప్పుడైనా
క్లాస్
అది యాక్సెస్ అవ్వదా?
యాక్సెస్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. ఇప్పుడు డిఈఎఫ్ అని అన్నాం,
ఇప్పుడు దాన్ని కన్స్ట్రక్టర్లో ప్రింట్ చేయొచ్చు.
లో ప్రింట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు, క్లాస్ లోపల ఇంకా వేరే ఫంక్షన్స్లో ప్రింట్ చేసుకోవచ్చు. క్లాస్ లోపల మీరు ఎక్కడైనా యూజ్ చేయొచ్చు ఆ వేరియబుల్ని. అవుట్ సైడ్ ద క్లాస్, అవుట్ సైడ్ ద క్లాస్ మాత్రమే యూజ్ చేయకూడదు. విత్ ఇన్ ద క్లాస్ ఎక్కడైనా యూజ్ చేసుకోవచ్చు ప్రైవేట్ మెంబర్ని. సో వై? బికాస్ యు ఆర్ హైడింగ్ దట్ వేరియబుల్ ఫ్రమ్ అవుట్ సైడ్ ద క్లాస్ అనమాట. అంటే అవుట్ సైడ్ ద క్లాస్ ఇంకెవరికి ఆ వేరియబుల్ నేమ్ కానీ ఆ వేరియబుల్ ఉందని కానీ తెలియకుండా ఉండడానికి హైడ్ చేస్తున్నాం మనం. ఈజ్ ఇట్ క్లియర్? అంటే మన సాఫ్ట్వేర్స్ అవి ప్రిపేర్ చేసేటప్పుడు మనం ఏ డేటా మెంబర్స్ యూజ్ చేస్తున్నాము అనేది అందరికీ తెలియకూడదు. సో ఇన్ దట్ కేసెస్ వీ కెన్ యూజ్ ద ప్రైవేట్ మెంబర్స్. దట్ ఈస్ వీ నీడ్ టు ప్రొవైడ్ ద సమ్ సెక్యూరిటీ టు ద డేటా. అంటే డేటా కన్నా డేటా మెంబర్ అంటే మనం యూజ్ చేస్తున్న వేరియబుల్ ఏంటి అనేది హైడ్ చేయడానికి వీ కెన్ యూజ్ దిస్ ప్రైవేట్ వేరియబుల్స్. Okay, so if you are feeling that some data is not secured and I want to provide to all anukunte, then you can give it as a public. So if you are feeling that name can be known by anyone, you can provide it as a public variable. So if you want to hide the number, that is you want to hide the number variable, then you can provide it with the private. Display function call చేయలేదు.
Yes, self dot no number no.
Okay, sorry. Okay, ABC, Guntur and 123. So private can be accessible only within the class and public and protected can be accessible outside the class. Okay, within the class and
అది
outside.
అడ్రస్ నెంబర్ ఎవరికి యాక్సెస్ అవ్వదు మ్యామ్?
Address,
అడ్రస్ నెంబర్ ఎవరికి యాక్సెస్ అవ్వదు?
అడ్రస్ మెంబర్ నాన్ రిలేటెడ్ క్లాసెస్. అంటే మనకి ఫర్దర్గా ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ వస్తుంది. ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ కాన్సెప్ట్ వచ్చినప్పుడు మనం ఆల్రెడీ ఉన్న ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ క్లాసెస్కి న్యూ క్లాసెస్ క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు. అంటే యాజ్ ఎ చైల్డ్ క్లాసెస్గా వీ కెన్ ఇన్హెరిట్ ఏ క్లాస్ ఫ్రమ్ ద ఎగ్జిస్టింగ్ క్లాసెస్. Okay, then you can use that protected member in that child classes. Okay, non-child classes ఉంటాయి కొన్ని, అంటే కొన్ని నాన్ రిలేటెడ్ క్లాసెస్ ఉంటాయి. In those classes we are not access the protected member. అంటే ఇక్కడ మీకు అవుట్ సైడ్ ద క్లాస్ వచ్చి మీకు ప్రొటెక్టెడ్ మెంబర్ యాక్సెస్ అవుతోంది. ఓకే, బట్ కేసెస్లోకి వచ్చేసరికి నాన్ రిలేటెడ్ క్లాసెస్లో ప్రొటెక్టెడ్ యాక్సెస్ అవ్వదు. మీకు అది ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్
ఇప్పుడు మనం కింద క్లాస్ ఎంప్లాయీ అని ఒక క్లాస్ క్రియేట్ చేస్తే ఆ క్లాస్ లో యాక్సెస్ అవ్వడం,
ఆ క్లాస్ లో మీకు అడ్రస్ వేరియబుల్ యాక్సెస్ అవ్వదు అంతే. మీకు ఇన్హెరిటెన్స్ వచ్చినప్పుడు ఇంకా ప్రొటెక్టెడ్ వేరియబుల్స్ ఇంకా క్లియర్ గా అర్థం అవుతాయి. ఓకేనా?
ఓకే మ్యామ్.
ఓకే.
ఓకే. Now we'll see the two other variables which are called as the class variables and object variables. Okay, we can also call these object variables as instance variables. Okay, instance variables. Okay, those variables are created for each and every object. Okay, instance variables are the variables which are created for the each object. Okay, if you are creating a three objects for the class, then you will have the three sets of the variables of the uh, three sets of variables will be created for the each and every object. Okay, that is, say for example, if you have a student class with the S1 object and S2 object and S3 object. Okay, then S1 object has the one set of variables and S2 object has one set of variables and S3 object has one set of the variables. Okay, those variables are called as the instance variables. Okay, instance variables are separate for each individual object. And class variables are, there is only one copy of a class variables. Okay, there is only one copy of a class variables. Okay, these will be shared by all the instances of the class. Class variables are, there is only one copy of variables, okay, which are shared by all the copies of the all the objects of the class. Okay, those will not be created multiple. Okay, instance variables are created multiple, but class variables are created only one, and those variables are shared by all the objects. Okay, okay. We have one more name for the class variables. Those we can also call them as static variables. So మీకు Cలో వస్తుంది static variables అని. సో అలాగే మనకి C++లో static variables ఉంటాయి. Okay, whenever you are creating a variable at the class within the class as a static variable, that is shared by all the instances of that particular class. But in the Python, we don't have any particular static keyword, so that those can be called as the class variables. Okay, the class variable is a variable which is shared by all the copies. Okay, we'll see that by example. Okay. So object variables are multiple copies and class variables are the single copies. Okay, object variables are also called as instance variables. Okay, you have different values and different objects. And whenever you are creating a class variable, if you are assigned the one value to a class variable using a one particular object, okay, the same value can be visible, can be seen by the remaining objects also. Okay, if the first object is assigning a value 10 to the class variable, then remaining two objects, whenever they access that class variable, they also get the same 10 value. Okay, but not in the case of the object variables like that. Okay, we can see this difference. This is called as a, okay, whenever you are accessing a class variable, will be accessed by the class name and the variable. Okay, not with the object, will access with the class name itself. Okay, then only that variable is treated as a class variable. Okay, whenever you are accessing a variable with the class name, then only it is treated as a class variable. Okay, so here there is a class, is the account class. Sound అవుతుందా సార్? సౌండ్ అయిద్దా? ఒక 15 minutes ఆకల్లా క్లాస్ అయిపోతుంది. So there is a class is the account class, and variable is counter variable which is assigned with the 0, and this is a constructor, has a parameters is self, holder, number, balance, and some credit line default parameter. And now I have some instance variables. These all are the instance variables. The variable which is accessed with the help of a self keyword, then that is instance variable. Okay, and this is the class variable. Okay, this is the class variable. Okay, so we have only difference in this class variables and instance variables is instance variable is accessible by the self keyword, that is current instance of the class, and class variable is accessible with the class name. Okay, say if you are accessing this counter is also with the self dot counter. Okay. In a previous examples we have seen x equals to 0 అని పెట్టేసి మన self dot x అని యూస్ చేసాం. Okay, then this becomes the instance. Okay, if you are accessing that the same variable with the class name, then it becomes the class variable. Okay, don't be confused. Okay, just have a clear idea is like if a variable is declared at the class level and is accessible and is accessing using a class name, then that is a class variable. Okay, it cannot be accessed by the object, it is accessed by only the class name, then that is created as a class variable. Okay, so you are initially assigned the 0 and here we are incrementing it by 1, and a holder is assigned to the holder variable. It's a private variable, 2 underscores are there, 2 private variable. Number is assigned to the number variable, balance is assigned to the balance variable, and credit line is assigned to the credit line variable. Okay, now okay, within the destructor just we are decreasing the variable. Okay, that's all. Okay, now whenever you are accessing this class, okay, to access the class variable we can use like account.counter. So initially you have 0, so you'll get the 0. Okay, then we are creating a object, a1 object equals to account class. Homer Simpson is the holder name and account number, balance. Credit line is the default way argument, it has a 1500. So whenever you, after creating this object, whenever you display the account.counter, you will get the 1. Okay, 0 is incremented by 1, so you will get the 1. Okay, within the constructor we are incrementing this class variable by 1. So whenever you display it again account.counter, you will get the 1. Okay, so that is irrespective of the object. Okay, it doesn't create another copy. Okay, a1 మనకు క్రియేట్ అవగానే మనకు రిమైనింగ్ వేరియబుల్స్ అన్నీ కూడా ఒక కాపీ క్రియేట్ అవుతాయి. సో రిమైనింగ్ వేరియబుల్స్ ఏమేమి, except this counter variable, okay, these all are the remaining variables. These all will be created as a one copy for the a1 object. Okay, but counter is not created as a copy. Okay, you'll get the holder, number, balance, credit line, these all will be created as a one copy for the a1. So a1 ki avanni oka copy ga create avutayi meeku. Okay, so you'll have a one copy of variables in the a1. Okay, but the counter variable is a common for all the objects. Counter variable is common for all. Okay, so it's initially is a 0. Okay, so within the a1 constructor you are incrementing the counter variable, so it becomes the 1. Okay, now whenever you create the a2 object, then again you will get the one more copy of the class, and you will get all the variables as a one copy to the a2 object and are assigned with the values. Okay, within the a2 constructor you are incrementing the counter variable, so it becomes a 2. Okay, now whenever you are assigning like a3 equals to a2, so you are assigning the a2 object to the a3. So here the actually it doesn't create the a3, it doesn't create it as a new object, but it is created as a reference to the a2. Okay, a3 object is here a reference to the a2. Okay, and that is nothing but another name for the a2. Okay, there is a already memory block for the a2, and for the same memory block a3 is created as another name. Okay, it doesn't be created as a new object, it is just a reference to the existing memory. Okay, so whenever you display the account.counter, it shows the same 2. Okay, why? Because it doesn't call the constructor. Constructor mana invoke cheyaledu ikkada, so ikkada constructor call avaledu, object create avaledu kabatti constructor call avaledu, so that you will get the same counter value as the 2. Okay, So next it is creating a one more object A4. So again it creates a one more copy of the variables, and you will be executed the constructor. So the counter is incremented by another 1. So whenever you display the account.counter, it shows the 3. Okay. Now for destroying of the objects, we have a operator called del. Using this, we can destroy the objects. This is a manual destruction. Okay, manually, if you want to destroy the objects, you can call the del. Okay. Otherwise, you can change the variable value. Variable value changes the automatic destruction అవుతుంది. Automatic variable destroy new variable create అవుతుంది. Okay. Okay, here this is the manual destruction. Manually destroying the object. del A4. One object is destroyed so that it decrements the counter variable, because within the code we have written as account.counter minus equals to 1. That is, the count has to be reduced by 1. So you'll get output as counter as 2. Okay, because already it is incremented to 3, minus 1 is 2. Again delete the D3 A3 object. Again, if you want to check, if you are checking the account.counter, it gives the value 2. Del A2, then it reduces the count and it gives the 1. Okay, so this is the destroying of objects and this is the constructing of objects. Okay, in both the cases, the class variables are, the class variable is only one, and which is modified and which is modified by the remaining places. Okay, so it doesn't be created as another copy, which is shared by, which is created as only one copy and is updated for every time. Okay, but class instance variables are created for each and every object. For each object, the instance variables are different and their values are different. Okay, so you'll see the example for this class variables and instance variables. Create the class variable count. Okay. Instance variable as step value. Okay, so now I will create a class. We will create a count variable as a constructor init. I want to send you some value as a n, and I want to create a one instance variable self plot 2 underscores. Now I will increment the step value by the dot. Just I want to show the one private variable as an instance variable and count variable as the our class variable. Okay, now we'll print those two variables. Print dot count. Will display the step value. Dot two underscore symbols step. I will write a destructor. It's not compulsory to have the destructor. Object for the counter. 1 equals to counter value. Okay. C2 counter of C3 equals to counter of 20. Okay. Okay, these are the three objects with the three step values 5, 10 and 20. Okay. And our count variable has to increment by 5 once and 10 and 20. Okay. Now we'll save the file. Run the program. Okay. So count value is initially initially 0, 0 plus 5, 5, and there the step value is 5. Okay. Then for the second object, the count value becomes a 15 because 5 plus 10, where the step value is 10, so 5 plus 10, 15. Okay, and third object, step value is 20, so its count is 35. Okay. 15 plus 20, 35. There's a simple example. So we created the one as the class variable and one as the instance variable. Okay. Okay, is it clear? Is all of you able to understand? Class variables are common for number of objects and instance variable is different for different objects. Is all of you able to understand this? అర్థమైందా క్లాస్ వేరియబుల్స్ ఇన్స్టెన్స్ వేరియబుల్స్? ఫైన్, 5 minutes ఆగలరా? అయిపోతుంది క్లాస్ అయిపోతే నేను వెళ్ళిపోతాను. ఏం లేదు 50 వరకే, కరెక్ట్గా 3 minutes ఉంది. 50కి క్లోజ్ చేస్తాను క్లాస్. So once all of you answer these bits, okay, which of the following statements can be used to check whether an object is obj is an instance of a class A or not? Okay, sorry, you may not get this type of questions, I think. Okay, so this is, we can check with obj is instance of A. Okay, if the first one is correct, what is the relationship correctly fits for university and professor? Okay, so university and professor ki madhyalo ఉన్న relationship enti? That is, professor is associated with university. This is the association. And what relationship is suited for course and faculty? Okay, faculty is a number of faculties are composed to the particular course. Okay, there is a number of faculty are dealing with a particular course. Okay, so it's a composition. Okay, following statements is true. By default, the new method invokes the init method. New method is defined in the object class, and init method is defined in the object class. str method is defined in the object class. eq method is defined in the object class. Okay, these all are true actually, but this is exactly true. Okay, the init method by default it calls the new method, it by default calls the init method. Del calls the destructor and new calls the constructor. Okay. And inheritance. Okay, the next topic. We have an introduction to the inheritance. Then we will go further. In the next class, we will go for the implementation of the inheritance. Okay. So inheritance is the basic advantage of the inheritance is code reusability. Code reusability. So whenever you want to use the existing code for more than once, we can use the reusability. So we can use this for whenever you want to reuse the existing code in a different other classes, then we can go for the inheritance. Say for example, in the existing class, I have some variables and I have some methods. Okay, the same variables and same methods to be used by the other classes. Okay, then we can go for the inheritances. Okay. So assume that there is a counter class which is having some data members and member functions, and the same counter class data members and member functions I want to use within the account class, and also I want to use in the member class, and I want to use in the employee class. Okay, then without declaring the same variables and same methods for 3 times, we can create for only once and we can use for 3 times. Okay. So here the code reusability is we can declare for one time, but we can use for number of times. So we may have 10 child classes. In all those child classes, we can use the same parent class members. Okay, we need not to declare them again. So that this code reusability is also has the advantages. It can reduce the number of lines in the code, and it can reduce the memory space required for the variables. Okay. Okay, especially it reduces the number of lines in the code. Okay. So the existing class is known as the parent class, and the new classes which are created are known as the child classes. Okay. So we may have the more than one levels of the inheritance also. Like say for example, A class is there, and from that we are deriving a B class, and from there you are deriving a C class, and from there we are deriving the D class. Okay, so like this we can have the n levels of the parent and child classes. Okay, that is A variables are used by the B class, and B class variables are used by the C class, and C class variables are used by the D class. That is, D class has the accessibility to all these 3 classes, A, B, C. All the 3 classes variables can be accessible by the D class. Okay. So there is another example is like say for example, have a class person. I have a class person. Okay, so the person has general data like name of the person, address of the person, date of birth, and something. Okay, the person may be a employee or maybe a student. Say for example, the person may be a student or maybe an employee. Okay, so employee also has the same data, name, address, and date of birth, and student also has the same data, name, number and address, name and address. Additionally, student has the number, class and school name and something. An employee has the company name, salary. Okay, so from the student there might be the number of different students. Okay, the student may be doing the inter, or the student may be doing a graduation. Okay, or the student may be doing a PG. Okay, an employee may be of a different types, part-time employee and a full-time employee. Okay, so they has they different data. Inter student has a different data and graduation student has a different data, but commonly they has the student roll number and marks, and even the part-time employee has a salary and employee number, and full-time employee also has a number and salary. Apart from that, they may have the additionally some other data maybe have. Okay. So like this, we can derive the number of classes to reuse the code which is already available within the existing classes. Okay, for this reusability, especially the inheritance concept is used. Okay. Okay. And you just go through these topics, whatever we have covered today, the class variables and object variables and data encapsulation. Okay, we covered the two topics in this today's class, data encapsulation and class and object variables. Is these two, whatever the examples we have discussed in this, practice those examples. Okay. And in the next class, we will go for the implementation of the inheritance. Okay, we'll see how the inheritance can be implemented using the Python. Okay, now you can leave from the class.